Stay tuned for another edition of Mail Call. Your left, your left, your left, right or left. Evil must be punished. Alrighty, I'm going to try this one in natural light. And it's not the best because it is currently drizzling rain out. But I'm going to give it a shot anyway. This is another mail call. I have gotten a lot of email that basically says, well, Vaughn, I'm with you on everything, but I just can't wrap my mind around this reptile stuff. You know, I'm with you on protecting the flag. I'm with you on going after Muslim extremists. I'm with you on everything, but I just can't wrap my mind around these reptiles. So, I am going to help you. That's the bulk of the emails is about that. And then, of course, I've got one from Domains 33. And I think what he's trying to link me to is the video on the disclosure project. And Domains, I know about that project. Basically, for those of you who don't know what the disclosure project is, it's where scientists, military personnel, government officials, people of all walks of life, they've all banded together and they're demanding that the government come forward about UFOs, ETs, EBEs, alien craft, the whole 9 yards. And that came out actually quite some years ago, and it went exactly nowhere. So, you know, the government ain't going to do squat. Okay, they're just not. You know, and it's sad too, because I'm hearing through the grapevine that Russia, Mexico, all the other countries that have experience with UFOs are willing to come forward, but they're all waiting on the United States to do it first. And, well, the United States isn't going to do it first, and so the other countries ain't going to do it, and so there we are, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's just it in a nutshell. All right, moving back to the reptile thing, because like I said, I got a lot of emails, people saying, well, I just can't deal with the reptile thing, you know, help me out here. So I am going to do exactly that. I have a page here called The Reptilians, Humanity's Historical Link to the Serpent Race by Joe Lewis, PhD. And the subhead is, Did Humans Evolve from Reptiles? And I will briefly read it here. As long as humanity has kept records in its existence, legends of a serpent race have persisted. These myths tell of a mysterious race of superhuman reptilian beings who descended from the heavens to participate in creating humankind and to teach the scientists, impart forbidden knowledge, impose social order, breed with us, and watch over our development. These serpent-like beings were not alone, but were part of a retinue of super beings thought to be gods by the ancients. Yet in cultures as widespread and diverse as those of Sumeria, Babylonia, India, China, Japan, Mexico, and Central America, reptilian gods have been feared and worshipped. To this day, the dragon and the serpent signifies divine heritage and royalty in many Asian countries, while in the West, the serpent represents wisdom and knowledge. The symbol of two serpents coiled around a staff, originally signifying the tree of knowledge of ancient myth, known as the caduceus, is today used by the American Medical Association as its official logo. Interestingly, stories of reptilian beings who exercise mind control over human captives while performing medical procedures on them have been emerging from research from some of the best-known UFO investigators, such as Bud Hopkins, John Carpenter, Linda Moulton Howe, Yvonne Smith, and others. These stories, told by average, mentally competent Americans, have emerged independently of one another in different parts of the country, but have not yet received much public attention. They tell of human encounters with creatures that have distinctly reptilian features, webbed claw-like hands, large golden eyes with vertical slit pupils, and scaly greenish-brown skin. Such stories have circulated around the UFO research community for many years, but few experts have any idea of how to interpret the tales. So unbelievable and frightful are they that in the past many researchers merely filed them away in their minds for future reference rather than risk looking foolish or being ridiculed. Little by little, at UFO conferences around the country, abductees and researchers learned of each other's similar experience with reptilian creatures, and gradually the stories became public. Today, researchers agree that there is a variety of entities involving the alien abduction scenario, including the familiar Greys, tall human-looking blondes called Nordics, and the Reptilians, also known as Anunnaki, and the hybrids, half human, half alien. In addition, there seem to be variations of each of these that imply crossbreeding and considerable diversity. It is not clearly understood how each type interacts with the others, although they are often reported seen together. Alright, so this thing about the Reptilians is not my cold pizza over here, okay? Or something that I dreamed up. All right, this is backed by cultures going back thousands and thousands of years, and yes, it's even referenced in the Bible. All right, so we're not talking fluff here. We're talking about something that, based on overwhelming evidence, do indeed exist, and by all means are, as far as we know now, are coming back every 3,600 years or so, according to one source anyway. So this is real. This is not a game. It's not a joke. A lot of people were worried about coming forward about it. Well, now they're coming forward about it. They're not hiding it anymore. We want to know what the heck's going on. And as we get closer to 2012, I think we're going to find out anyway whether the government says anything about it or not. The thing about this is, you was wanting, some of you were wanting some more down-to-earth backing on this stuff. Okay, so let's get to that. I'm gonna skip down through some of this here and get to this. Okay, Dead Sea Scrolls evidence. References to watchers, good and bad angels, and hybrid babies can be found in many ancient texts, including the Old Testament, which borrowed much from older documents, including the books of Enoch. The prophet Enoch is mentioned in Genesis as the son of Cain and the father of Methuselah, and he is believed to be one of the antediluvian pre-flood patriarchs who, along with Noah, walked with God. Alright, that's Genesis 5:24 and 6:9. Books written by anonymous writers but credited to Enoch were given great credence by early Jewish scholars and thus influenced the writers of the Old Testament. Parts of the books of Enoch, written in Aramaic, were found among the scraps of parchment in the caves of Qumran in 1947, having been placed there nearly 2,000 years ago by a Jewish sect known as the Essenes. These, of course, are the Dead Sea Scrolls. Another version exists in Ethiopia. Okay, so this is in the Bible. It's in all of your ancient civilizations. It's in many of your ancient religions. These reptilian people are not a figment of people's imagination. They're quite real.